What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics here for the weekly Sunday morning show. Week in review, the week that was, the week that is. We're going to do things slightly differently today. I've mentioned this a couple times throughout the week. I have an extremely crazy week upcoming this week. And I'm even recording this video early. Once again, when I record early, I like to mention that just in case something wild and crazy has happened. So I'm actually recording this late on Friday night. So rather than do the normal week in review, since it's the beginning of a new month, what I thought we would do is do a 30-day review. And I may actually start doing this going forward at the end of every month if I can line it up. Just every couple weeks, look at 30 days worth of data, just because I think it gives us a little bit of a different picture. So we're going to look at 30 days worth of stuff. As for, I'll open with this now as well. As for content this upcoming week, there'll be regularly scheduled content. Most of it is already recorded. So it's going to be a little less markety talk because usually those videos have to be recorded and released very quickly because comps change so quickly. And we're going to do a little bit more big picture stuff, that sort of stuff. If crazy stuff happens, I will still be able to get videos out. It just might not be as quick as I typically am when it comes to, getting the hot take reactions up of all of a sudden something crazy happens next week, or this upcoming week rather. So just keep that in mind. The next 7 days or so will be extremely busy. Basically the entire week. I'll be available, just not potentially as responsive as I typically am. I might be a little slower on the trigger if breaking news happens. So, is what it is. Just every once in a while, shenanigans pop up. It's nothing bad. Everything is good. But just this upcoming week's content might be a little different. I have videos planned for every day, just about, I think. But like I said, a little less markety talk, a little less comps, that sort of stuff, since they're so in the moment. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive in this week. So, like, comment, subscribe. Kick off with news first. Biggest thing of the week was probably all the HGA stuff, in my opinion, and the Fnatic stuff. Those are the two biggest things. I have a video coming up later this week talking specifically about the Fnatic stuff. I mean, I covered it kind of already late last week, but taking a little more, a glass half full approach, if you will. So look for that coming out this upcoming week. The HGA stuff, and then just to circle back on the Fnatic stuff for a minute. I mean, it's not that surprising. They did the evaluation the one day I did the video on that. The next day they did, Ruben popped on and did an interview with CNBC, I believe, and basically reinforced the stuff that we already knew. They want to control it all. They want one-stop shopping. So I kind of take a glass half full approach, but we'll get to that later this week. The other big stuff that happened this week was the HGA stuff. The AI video dropped. There was numerous fakes that popped up. The Gretzky, the Lemieux, the Patrick Mahomes. It was not a great week for them overall. Now, they have come out, as of time of recording, once again, late Friday night. They did put out a statement that they basically said that any fakes found in their slabs, they will buy back. So that is good. They probably need to get that up on the website and everything and probably flesh out the details on all that. But that is good to see. So as much as I bash HGA, I will say that that is a positive to see. That being said, there's no way in hell I'm using them anytime soon at all, or buying any of their slabs. I actually saw a really good deal on a very high-end card and at auction about a week or so ago, and it's a card that I am looking for. I want to buy it. It went for a pretty decent price, and I passed because of the slab that it was in, because I did not trust a high-end card in that slab. That is where I am at with them right now. It's going to take a lot for me to change my mind, but I will give them credit for at least putting the buyback in there. I think I commented on one of my videos that needs to be in there versus, if we bug you enough on social media, you'll do something about it. They need to be in front of it. And they also talked about adjusting their processes. So I will give them some credit there for that. But they are not for me at the time being, and they need to do a lot to earn a majority of the hobby's trust back. So, with all that, let's go ahead and dive in the charts and graphs. So market movers links down below, coupon code, all that jazz, 20% off. And like I said, we're going to take a 30-day approach. We're basically looking at the entire month of September. So 9-1 to 10-1. through 10-1, or up until the morning of 10-1 when the reports ran. We're going to hit all three major sports. I didn't pick, obviously, I could have picked a million cards. I try to grab the ones that had the biggest movements, both up and down. There's some interesting stuff going on overall. So let's go ahead and dive in. Baseball first. Baseball's a weird one. We've kind of been talking about how the baseball market seems kind of meh right now. And the numbers actually back that up. For the most part, the only player really seeing massive gains is Juan Soto. This is his PSA 10 rainbow foil. This is up a pretty decent chunk, 45% in the last 30 days, from $800 to almost 1,200, a little shy of 1,200. Actually, looks like one got to 1,200. Yeah, and then it came back down slightly. He's had an absolutely insane second half. This month of September has been absolutely insane. I am very curious to see what his prices do the next 30 days. I'll be fully transparent. I almost pulled the trigger on a rather large Soto card the other day. I think I talked about it on somewhere, maybe on a live stream or something. And the FOMO was getting the best of me. And it was another situation where I just closed the laptop and walked away. I was extremely close to buying this card. Like, I was getting ready to copy and paste the email address in, and it's actually the guy that was going to potentially buy it off of watches videos, so he may see this. I was extremely close to buying that card. And then the rational side of me kicked in at the very last minute and said, you know, as much as you want this, this probably is not the time to be buying Juan Soto. So shut the laptop, walked away. I think this is his peak prices for a while. I have a feeling stuff's going to slide back down again. Up next, Vlad Guerrero. This is his PSA 10 Topps Chrome Rookie Auto. This card has seen a massive increase this month as well. And once again, the Blue Jays won on a big tear. He had a big second half, and I've talked about this many times, especially earlier this month. I was really hoping to buy a Vlad dip, and then all of a sudden they went bonkers. So PSA 10 Rookie Auto started the month at $770 or $975 up to $1,500, a 56% increase on that. You can see it's leveled off here recently at about that $1,500 mark. Pop 200 on this one. Nice looking card. He does not have the best auto. I actually, when I was big into buying Vlad earlier in the summer, I looked at a lot of his autograph stuff. His auto is just not nice, I guess is the best way to put it. It's very rare to see a nice looking auto of his. Trout, you know, this one's kind of a weird one. This card's been all over the place. It goes up, it goes back down again. I just wanted to touch on this one. It's not like it's done anything one way or the other majorly. On the month, it's up 10% to 3,300. But honestly, when you look at this card, it goes up 10% and down 10%. I feel like every single week. It goes down to 3K, a little under 3K, then it bounces back to 3,300, then it goes back down again. I mean, you can see it in the graph here. It's down, it bounces back up, it goes right back down again, it bounces back up, it goes back down again, it bounces back up, rinse and repeat. Trout hasn't been playing the whole second half. We'll see what it does in the run up the next season, but I felt like it was at least worth bringing up there. Ohtani. His stuff took a major slide in the month. It looks like some of it may be picking up at the tail end, but in general, he is down a lot this month. I actually pulled a couple of his cards. This is his PSA 10 Topps Chrome Refractor. Pop about 550 on this one, down 26%, even with a late month rally back up again. It does appear like he is going to bring in the MVP in the AL. I'd be shocked if he didn't at this point. I don't know if he gets a bump from that or not. I'd be curious to see what his off-season prices do. Curious to see what he does in the run-up to next year. But he's down 26%. I would also be very curious to see what his prices would be at if they were going into the playoffs. We have another Ohtani card, I believe, to look at here. This is his pink PSA 10 refractor. Pop 340 on this one. Also down. Down a lot, actually. 886 to 630, a 28% decrease on this bad boy. So another big drop on this one, but we don't see the hook at the end with this one coming back up like we did on the base refractor. Ohtani's an off-season interesting one. Like I said, I'm not really sure what to do with this stuff, honestly, and I do think he's going to end up pulling in this MVP award. Once again, crazier things have happened. This is the one. I've talked about this before. This is all over. I have so many saved searches for Tatis stuff. His stuff is taking a beating. Padre second half, the negative press, all their drama. This is his PSA 10 X-Fractor. Awesome looking card. Very low pop, 350 on this one. It is down from 1,500 to 925, a 40% decrease in this. So a hell of a drop there. Continuing in on Tatis, this is his PSA 10 refractor, Topps Chrome. Also, this one down only 15% from 675, basically 675 to 575, so about $100 decrease there, and continuing the trend down. And then last but not least, this is his 2019 Topps Chrome rookie auto, like we looked at before with the Vlad. This one is also down and down quite a bit. Started the month at 2,200, down to 1,700, a 22% increase. I can tell you, I mean, full disclosure, I don't know what I'm going to buy, but I am looking at Tatis strong. He is one of the main baseball players I am looking at in the offseason, along with Vlad and along with especially Soto. Soto got the it's not artificial because he played great, but Soto got the run up this back half of this month, and it really killed a lot of my buying plans for Soto. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on that. I think, once again, I did the video, I think it was a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. All the eyes are on the NFL, and the eyes that are leaving the NFL because that market's starting to cool a little bit are switching over to basketball, and no one's even thinking about baseball except for the guys that are in the playoffs. I think that trend continues, and I think it is time. I'm not saying run out and buy everything right now, but it's worth keeping an eye on some base. Pick the players that you like. Start watching the charts on a weekly basis. I think it's going to get spicy town in baseball buying season real quick here. I think the next 30 to 60 days is going to be buying baseball time. So let's switch sports, go over to football. I think I pulled the least amount of football cards to look at. It's because we looked at this a ton. It's the same names over and over again. Here's Josh Allen, PSA 10 Select Premier. Down quite a bit on the month, but we'll circle back to this one in a second. Started the month off, and once again, a month, so 30 days ago was about a week and a half before the NFL season started. This was an $1,100 card, dropped down to $800, 25% decrease, but you do see it coming back up. This was trailing down, and then he played really good in the last game, and it bounced back up again. This got all the way down to $600. Whoever got this at $600 got a steal of a deal. It's already back up to $800. It did not stay down there long. So we'll see where this continues to go from here. But overall, over the last 30 days, down. And this was one of the things that worried me about Josh Allen, is that his prices were so overinflated. If he did not play well at all, there was going to be a pullback. He's another one I talked about of I would have liked one more mediocre week out of him to dive in, and he just did not give it to us. He played exceptionally well last week. Joe Burrow, PSA 10 Select Field Level. They just won last night, so maybe this gets a little bit of a bounce back, but down 30% on the month so far, 1,300 to just under 900. Pop 90 on this. Select Field Level Silvers tend to be fairly decently low pop. I know Select's not as great as it once was, but Burrow stuff in general, a lot of these players I used, one card. I could have looked at multiples. But in general, most of the players that are going down, it's across the board to some percentage or another. But Burrow stuff is definitely going down. Once again, we'll see where it ends up going. I still don't have a lot of faith in that team. I believe they're 3-1 now, actually. But still, we'll see. The first half of that game, they were not playing great, and then they turned it on. Baker Mayfield, my boy, his Select Field Level Silver PSA 10. Pop 116 on this one, so pretty low pop. This card's down quite a bit, actually, from 1,400 down to 810. 40% drop on his Select Field Level. I'm sure the commenters are going to have a field day with this one, so I'll let them do it for me. Derek Carr, PSA 10 Prism. We talked about this one on a regular weekly video not too terribly long ago, but you see the general, lull, and then it just goes crazy town. Little put up a pullback the last week or so. Not surprising. Prices aren't going to go up forever, even when guys are playing well. But in general, since the start of the season, probably one of the best overall returns if you got in on him at the start of the season. $100 at September 1st, $300 now, even with the slight downturn. So a lot of money that people are making on Derek Carr right now. Gronk, another one, had a very big run up, been playing absolutely fantastic. Started the month off at 400, ends the month off at 700, a 70% increase on his PSA 10 Topps Chrome. Very popular card, very low pop, 159 in this one in a PSA 10. Playing great, prices going sky high. Last one, not surprising here. We actually got two different cards to look at. Kyler Murray, probably one of the MVP candidates at this point in time in the season. Playing great, fun to watch. Prices are going absolutely crazy. This is his PSA 10 Optic Holo over the last 30 days, up 71%. Was $800 to start the season, now sitting just shy of $1,400. And round out football, Kyler Murray, Prism PSA 10 Silver. Once again, Prism Football Silvers are very low pop. 156 on this at current time of recording. I don't see that changing a ton, actually. If you know anything about Prism Football, the silvers are pretty rare. 2018, they're unicorns. 2019, they're actually pullable, but still pretty rare. This card up 45%. 1,900 to 2,800 over the last month. And one actually hasn't sold for a few days. Last one sold on 9/24 for 2,800. So we'll see what this does if he has another good week this week. Let's transition over to NBA and finish this thing out. NBA, the biggest run-up by far, percentage-wise. KD, Topps Chrome PSA 10. Started the month off at $3,100, ends the month at $5.3K, a 71% increase. Whew. Absolutely monster run-up for this card. You could have got this card really cheaply right before the Olympics. Let me just back this up a little bit more. Yeah, this was down to, at the beginning of July, this was at $3,300. Man, missed the boat on that one. What you gonna do? Trae Young Silver PSA 10 Prism. And I didn't pull a ton of basketball because I just did the basketball video a couple days ago. But Trae Young Silver PSA 10 Prism, up 27% over the last 30 days, $1,375 to $1,750. Once again, not very surprising given the numbers that we saw earlier this week when I did the big comparison on base versus silvers and hollows. Silvers and hollows doing quite well. Base doing fairly stagnant. Next up, Tatum Silver Prism. Once again, same thing. 37% increase in the last 30 days. So September on the silvers, man, has been hot. Started the month at $1,800, ends the month at $2,475 for his silver PSA 10 Prism. And, you know, like we talked about, that stuff's just been going crazy. Let's talk about going down, and this is interesting. I mentioned this earlier this week. The Zion broken foot news came out, and we were not able to see data on it quite yet when I looked at basketball stuff. Now we could see it a little bit, and a lot of key cards have dropped the back half of this week. This is his Optic Holo PSA 10. Over the start of the month, this was going for $1,550. This got up to $1,625, went down to $1,575 on the 26th, and then the most recent sale just yesterday, $1,325. So for the month, he's down 15% now. If that has to be broken foot oriented and people panic selling a little bit. I don't necessarily blame them. I still think he's going to be ready to start the season. We will see. But as we've seen with him in the past, when he gets hurt and can't work out, sometimes there's problems. So I do have some concerns going into the season with him. Anyone that's watched the channel for a long period of time knows I think Zion's ridiculously talented. I do not want to own many Zion cards. And in fact, I don't. I own a Mosaic base at this point, and that might be it. That might be the only Zion card I currently own. I had the pink camo and I traded it. I could be wrong on that one. But I think that might be the only slab I own anyways of Zion. Here's another one for you. Zion Williams photo variation. This is his Prism card, but the photo variation, these are pretty low pop. When you consider his base Prism at PSA 10 is like 20,000, this is 526. These cards are extremely underrated. Like for a base card long term, like if you truly believed in Ja or Zion, I would look for these. They're not shiny, they are base cards, but they are pretty short print compared to the main base card. I mean, you're talking fractions of percentages on this one compared to the base. This is now down 27%, down $300, almost $1,100 to start the month. Now down to under $800 here in late or early October, late September, as we get ready to start the final run up to the season. And last but not least, Giannis, actually, surprisingly enough. Base Prism PSA 10 is actually down on the month 15%, down 322. Now, his silvers, I believe, are up, but his base does appear to be trending down slightly, which is intriguing. To me, that's a very interesting play coming into the season, considering everything that he has under his belt already. And the Bucks are going to be really good in the East. Don't get me wrong. Nets are going to be the favorite, but they have injury issues and they have Kyrie issues. Who knows what could happen? The East is really good, but this seems kind of cheap for Giannis. If you could get it sub 1,800, I think what was I watching? Rothcards bought one for 16 something at a show recently. Just this week. I thought that was a really good deal. I know it's Prism base, but it's only pop 2,600. Not a lot of them out there when you go to the older school stuff. So that's all I have for you guys and girls. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. Just as a reminder from the beginning of the video, content will be slightly different this week. Just less charts and graphs, more think pieces. And then once again, I will be a little slower on the trigger if anything crazy happens news-wise. So that's all I have for you guys and girls. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.